Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Nama Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namine Gauratishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa taruvesya kripa sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tamaham bande Shri Guru Dinatarinam Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanyameshwaram. Hare Krishna. So I welcome all of you to our first class on this Srimad Bhagavatam section of lessons from King Vena. So as all of you know that we completed Dhruva Maharaj's section. So at the end of Dhruva Maharaj's section, Sukadeva Goswami says that Narad Muni glorified Dhruva Maharaj in the in the assembly of King Prachetas. So as soon as Sukadeva Goswami or Maitreya Muni speaks about Prachetas, Vidura, he starts speaking or inquiring, who are these Prachetas? I want to know who are these Prachetas. So to the answer of who are the Prachetas, volume is low. To the answer that who are the Prachetas, Vidura asked who are the Prachetas. Maitreya Muni is telling that these Prachetas, they come in the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj. So all the descendants of Dhruva Maharaj is being described so that Prachetas can be described. So from today we will be discussing on the descendants of the Dhruva Maharaj. The next chapter, that is chapter 13th, is Dhruva Maharaj's descendants or the lineage of Dhruva Maharaj. So there were many kings that came in Dhruva Maharaj's lineage. At one point of time, this story of King Vena and King Anga comes. So King Anga comes in the family, in the lineage of Dhruva Maharaj. He was a very, very pious king. He was rather a great devotee of the Lord. But unfortunately, he had no son. His wife's name was Sunita. And they had no son. They tried so many times, and like us, all grihasthas, they become panicky if they don't get son and daughter. And he was a king. So he was really feeling bad that he doesn't have a son. And who will take care of the kingdom as he leaves the planet? So thinking like that, he was doing so many activities, but he didn't get a son. And then someone suggested that he should do Aswamedha Yajna for getting a son. So he collected the best of the Brahmanas. He requested them, and they tried their level best. They did the Aswamedha Yajna, and they chanted the mantras. So with all the mantras, what they chanted, and all the yajnic procedures or the rituals that were done, still the demigods were not coming to take the share. Because if the demigods don't come and they don't bless, you do not get the benefit, or you do not get the what do you say, the result of getting a son. So Anga Maharaj, King Anga, was getting very anxious that why the demigods are not coming. So again and again he was asking why the demigods. He was sitting in the yajna, but he was asking that why the demigods are not coming, why the demigods are not coming, why the demigods are not coming. So like that, Anga Maharaj was feeling very anxious, and finally Anga Maharaj asked all the priests that were assembled and asked them that why the demigods are not coming, right? So today's verse we will be discussing on why the demigods are not coming, and we will see what the priest or the pujaris or the people who had assembled, they spoke to King Anga. Is this clear, the context? Yes. So can I request everyone to switch on your videos? I don't want to speak this again and again in the classes, because this is already spoken in the protocols. I request all the monitors to ensure everyone switches on the video. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So this is 4th canto, 13th chapter, 31st verse, and the context is the priest, those who were doing the Aswamedha Yajna, asked by King Anga, because the demigods are not coming, so they are replying why the yajna is not becoming successful. Is this clear, everyone? So King Anga is doing the sacrifice for getting a son, and demigods are not coming. The sacrifice is not going in the right direction. The result is not coming. So this is the situation. Sadasa pataya uchu. Yeah, anyone?
Sadasa pataya uchu.
Nara deveha bhavato.
Nara deveha bhavato.
Nagham tavan manak sthitam.
Nagam tavan manastita.
Asta ekam praktanam agham.
Asta ekam praktanam agham.
Yad ihe driktam aprajaha.
Yad ihe driktam apraja.
Okay. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The head priest said, O king, in this life, we do not find any sinful activity even within your mind. Just imagine how powerful was Anga Maharaj, how such a great devotee he was there. Even within your mind, in this life, you have not committed any sinful activity. So you are not in the list offensive, because in the previous yugas, even mental offenses were also counted. In Kali Yuga, at least we are saved. If mental offenses get counted in Kali Yuga, I don't think we'll be able to do anything in life. So, Anga was such a great soul that there was no sinful activity that Anga Maharaj did even within his mind. He was least offensive. That was the greatness of Anga. But we can see that in your previous life, you performed sinful activities, due to which, in spite of having all qualifications, you have no son. Okay. So the priests, they said, Ki, O King Anga, in this present life you have not done anything wrong. Why this got switched off? So in this present life you have not done anything wrong, but we could see that you have done something definitely wrong in your previous life, because of which you have no son. Purport. The purpose of marrying is to beget a son, because a son is necessary to deliver his father and forefathers from any hellish conditional life in which they may be. Chanakya Pandit therefore says, Putrahinam griham sunyam. Without a son, married life is simply abominable. King Anga was a very pious king in this life, but because of his previous sinful activity, he could not get a son. It is concluded, therefore, that if a person does not get a son, it is due to his past sinful life. So this is what they said. Now you see what they will say. This is very important. So this is the information they gave. The next sloka is very important. Tatha sadhaya bhadram te atmanam suprajam nipa ishtaste putra kamasya putram dashyati yajna bhog. O king, we wish all good fortune for you. You have no son, but if you pray at once to the Supreme Lord and ask for a son, and if you execute the sacrifice for that purpose, the enjoyer of the sacrifice, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, will fulfill your desire. So they are telling, you have no son, definitely it is true, but if you pray at once to Supreme Lord and ask for a son, and if you execute the sacrifice for that purpose, then the Supreme Personality of Godhead will fulfill your desire. So the priest, they said, actually we are doing yajna for demigods, and demigods are not able to do anything, but Vishnu, he can actually interact with the karma. The demigods have no power on the karma, and that's why, because you do not have karma, they are not coming. But Vishnu is so powerful. He can edit, he can delete, he can amend all your karmas. So better pray to Vishnu and get your son. He can fulfill all your desires. Okay. So they advised him to pray to Vishnu. Tam stan kaman hari dadyat. Yan yan kama yate janaha. Aradhito yathaivaisha. Tatha pumsham phalodayah. The performers of sacrifice under karmakand activities achieves the fulfillment of the desire for which he worships the Lord. So, if you perform the sacrifice under the karmakand section, definitely you will fulfill the your desire will be fulfilled for which you are worshipping the Lord. Okay. Now, this is a very important purport, and then we will discuss. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that He awards benediction to the worshipper according to his desire. The Supreme Personality of Godhead gives all living entities conditioned within this material world full freedom to act in their own way. But to his devotee, he says that instead of working in that way, it is better to surrender to him. So the Lord has given free will to everyone, but for the devotee, he tells that you surrender to me. You don't act on your own desire, and I will take charge of the devotee. That is the difference between a devotee and a fruitive actor. The fruitive actor enjoys only the fruits of his own activity, but a devotee, being under the guidance of the Supreme Lord, simply advances in devotional service to achieve the ultimate goal of life, to go back home, back to Godhead. The significant word in this verse is kaman, which means sense gratificatory desires. A devotee is devoid of all kaman. He is anya vilashita sunya. A devotee is always devoid of all desires for sense gratification. His only aim is to satisfy or gratify the senses of the Lord. That is the difference between a karmi and a devotee. Okay. Now, the most important point that needs to be discussed here is that King Anga is a devotee. And he is a devotee, and here are the people who are the priests. They are suggesting King Anga that the demigods are not coming and you are a devotee of the Lord, and the Lord fulfills all the desires of the devotee. And if the demigods are not coming, so you worship the Supreme Lord and you will get your son. Yes? How many of you think that this is a good proposal? Okay, very good, everyone, nice. Yes. So all of you are thinking like this, that is a very good proposal. But Lord Vishnu doesn't think like that. And that's how he is Lord Vishnu. And that's how there is a difference between priests versus guru or spiritual masters. So, King Anga actually followed the instructions of the priest. And if you see, the priests are not telling anything wrong. They are telling, yes, King Anga, you have your karma, and because of a karma, you are not getting a son. But if you worship Vishnu, you will get a son. But we see ahead in the story that King Anga does the yajna according to the direction of the priest. The yajna becomes successful. The yajna Purusha Vishnu comes in the yajna with a pot of sweet rice. I don't know how by eating sweet rice, but in Bhagavatam again and again this topic comes. If you eat sweet rice, you become pregnant. So he comes with a sweet rice pot, and King Anga gives that sweet rice pot to his wife Sunita, and Sunita takes, and she becomes pregnant, and the son that is born is Vena. Successful. Yes. Now, how is Vena? Vena was such a son that Vena, when he was 5 years old, Sukadeva Goswami says, he would go out, and when he would go out to play in the playground, he will come back with one of the head of one of the friends. Sometimes they would like to play football, and he would get bored with the ball, and he would cut someone's friend's head, and he would play with it like a ball. Hare Krishna. This is Vishnu Prasad. This is the mercy of Vishnu. And then sometimes Vena would go out to the forest and kill all the animals in the forest. people were so frustrated with Vena that they were always telling hi, hi, hi. And whenever King Anga would come out, he would say, he is the father of Vena, the most cruel person in the entire creation. And so many people whose children were killed by Vena, they would come and complain to King Anga. Now we say that Vishnu is merciful. Is this mercy? What Vishnu did? And where was the problem? He worshipped Vishnu. He was a great devotee. He wanted a son. This is what the son that Vishnu gave. So, we need to understand here in this story that what is the difference between a priest and a spiritual master. So, generally, the priests, they would give suggestions, and they would give very good suggestions from Shastras. It's not that they will not give suggestions from Shastras, they would give very good suggestions from Shastras, but their suggestions would be directed for enhancing our material life. So their primary focus is to help the Yajaman or who has appointed them to enhance their material life. And that's how the priests, they are on payroll of Yajaman. They would never suggest what is best for their Yajaman. They are like, they will come and they will fulfill the desire of Yajaman. On the other hand, a real spiritual master would never suggest anything that would make one's material life more complicated. Rather, he would suggest to only enhance spiritual life. Now, what went wrong in King Anga's life? He was a devotee, but he had no spiritual master. He had a lot of priests and brahmanas who can suggest how to enhance his material life, but he had no spiritual master who can help him take the right decision in life. And sometimes, if we considered our spiritual masters like Anga, now Anga's situation is he had no guru, at least in the entire text of Srimad Bhagavatam there is no mention that he had a guru, but he had purohits. Priests are called purohits. But sometimes in our life, Krishna has blessed us with Guru, but we may take or make Guru as our Purohit. So Anga had no guru, so he had only Purohits, and the Purohits, they blessed him. No, you worship. See, Purohits are what? Purohits means they will not think what will happen in the future, nothing. They are just coming for salary. So King Anga had invited them. King Anga is going to give them a donation, and the Purohits, they have to tell that King Anga how he will get a son. And ultimately King Anga did get a son, and Purohits went back with their salary. They were happy. King Anga is happy. But the spiritual master doesn't behave or doesn't act like that. So, because King Anga didn't had a guru, he had Purohits who blessed him in all these ways, and he got a king got a son like Vena. Vishnu actually arranged his karma in such a way that King Anga got so much frustrated that he left the kingdom, he left everything, and he went to the forest to practice bhakti. Because Vishnu understood that if I give him a son, and I will give him such a horrible son that for entire lifetimes after lifetime, he will never desire for a son, and he will only come back to me. This is Vishnu. We have to be careful while worshipping Vishnu. Now, because King Anga had some Purohits who gave him some suggestions which were not exactly to the right, appropriate, Krishna helped him. But if Krishna has already blessed us with Guru, and if we consider Guru as Purohit, then Krishna may not help us, and we may have to suffer our karma, and our life may become complicated. So now the question is, how we can make our Guru as Purohit? Okay, let me use some other color, green. So how we can make our Guru as Purohit? Yes, anyone?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Bhagavat Pranam.
Yes.
When we consider Guru as like a wish fulfilling tree,
Okay.
we ask, yes, please provide me this, or I want this.
Okay.
This is the way I think we make him Purohit.
Okay, so we think Guru as a wish fulfilling person. Okay, what else? Anyone else?
We ask Prabhuji material problems, and we ask for solution.
Okay, so we go with our material problems, and we want some solutions. Yes, anyone else? Who is speaking? It's audible in a very faint way. Hare Krishna.
Because we know that the Guru is a spiritual personality and there's a lot of connection with God. So we want him to, for us, for our material things, we want him to pray. We know that if he does something, then maybe Krishna will help me in my material desires.
Okay, so what we do?
We approach our material desires and we want him to facilitate them, pray for them, or help us to enhance them.
Approach for praying for our material desires. Okay, that's good. Anyone else?
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol.
So we take decisions in our material life and we go to Guru to get his stamp for what.
Yeah, that's a very nice point. We go and get a stamp. So we make our material decisions, and we go and get a spiritual stamp. You are understanding spiritual stamp? Yes, Kushal Bihari Prabhu will explain what is spiritual stamp.
Spiritual stamp means what I have done is correct. That Guru will certify that.
Yeah.
I wanted to.
Yeah. So here King Anga, he didn't wanted, he actually wanted a son. It's not that King Anga wanted to hear, oh, you don't have a adhikar, or you don't have a karma for not having a son. He didn't wanted to hear all those things. He wanted a son. And he wanted to hear who can give him a son, correct? Right? Yes. Anyone else?
We never asked Guru what Guru wants for us. We can discuss whatever material desire is, obviously, but we never ask what, what suggestion he wants to give us.
So we never inquire, we never ask what he wants or what Krishna wants. We just tell, this is what I want, please fulfill. Yes, anyone else?
We always ask and go to Guru for blessings to our family, to our son.
Yeah. So we just want blessings. Please bless us. Everything sab sahi hona chahiye. And if something is not going proper, we tell ki arey, I am doing bhakti. Why nothing is going proper? So we want blessings, material blessings for our family. Okay. Now the next question. Okay, Nidhi Mataji, last.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you were telling an example of some lady you met in one of the, in Panache, I think, who came to you with her husband was there in the hospital, and then she was wanting you to do something, I mean some magic, so that her husband revives. Then you prayed for her and husband revived, and then she came again to you to say that Mr. Sanka, there is a problem, not getting a job or something, and to do something about the son. This is an example of making Guru the priest.
Okay, so you gave an example. Okay, good. Yeah. So now the question is it wrong to to ask for blessings? What is wrong in the part of Anga Maharaj? What is wrong in the part of Anga Maharaj? That he had to go through so much of complications, right? That he has to leave the kingdom. What was wrong in the part of Anga Maharaj?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. It was like breaking the rules God has said. For karma, we have to bear the results, and then we are not ready to bear the results.
Okay, so it is like breaking the rules. Okay. What else?
Anga Maharaj did not know the difference between karma or bhakti yoga. He didn't have a spiritual master to guide him properly. So he didn't know the highest destination of life, what is it, purpose of life.
Okay.
That is why he was
but at the end he would renounce everything and go to forest. That means he was knowing the destination of life is to renounce everything. Okay, so माया का लात पड़ने के बाद हुआ. Okay, so तो माया का लात पड़ने से पहले कैसे होना चाहिए वो हम पूछ रहे हैं. Okay, so he wanted, you said what? He didn't
get the proper guidance from a spiritual master. before hand. हमारा भी बहुत सारा ऐसा होता है प्रभु जी किस्सा, बट बहुत ही किस्सा, बट हमें प्रॉपर गाइडेंस मिल रहे थे, हम उस चीज के बारे में बहुत हैंडल नहीं करते.
Okay, okay. So
सबके जीवन में कुछ ना कुछ प्रॉब्लम होता है.
okay, okay. उदाहरण कृष्ण प्रभु.
I feel Prabhu that he was considering himself as the center to take care of his praja and everyone, but not dependent on Lord.
Ultimately, was he able to take care of the praja?
No.
Huh?
No.
We will see in the later part of the story how much the praja suffered, bichare. And Anga Maharaj, though he had all good desires to take care of the praja, he should get a son, but later on so much a problem happened. But what was the most important problem with Anga Maharaj? You are still not able to answer. Yes. हाँ बोलो, कौन है?
I think the main important thing is that he never thought that I don't have a spiritual master, I should look for a spiritual master.
Yeah. So he never looked for a guru. He took the priest only as their guru. So at least if you would have searched for a guru to get good guidance, he never thought that guidance is required. He thought that if what I am thinking is most right, appropriate, and he never thought a need for consultation. Later on also you will see the same thing. I will give those purports also for all of you to read in the book reading session. You will see later on, as King Vena does all these activities, again Anga would start contemplating. Oh, why did I pray for a son? Now this son has come and is creating so much of problem, and better I should not have son. I should better, no son is better than a bad son. And then King Anga says, let me get out of the forest, and rato rat he absconds. It is said, it is written in the verse that King Anga will abscond in the night itself when his wife is sleeping, Vena is sleeping everywhere, and the citizens would search for the king, the minister would search, the sages would search, wife would search. King Anga has gone. No one knows where it has happened, where he has gone. Because he was so frustrated. So, even after Vena was born, still King Anga never looked for a guru. You are able to understand? Huh? Beforehand, he didn't look for a guru. After this situation happened also, sometimes Maya ka laat padne ke baad bhi, sometimes we think when Maya creates problem, the solution is to run away from the problem. But the solution is to not run away from the problem. The solution is to face the problem with appropriate consultation and guidance. So that is how we learn here that though King Anga is a very good soul, very gentle soul, he has a lot of good qualities. He was dependent on the Supreme Lord. Because he was not dependent on Guru, he faced so much of complications and he could not take right decisions in life. So the lesson that we learn is that we may be very pious, we may be very great, we may have all gentle qualities, devotional qualities, we may be surrendered to the Lord. We may want benefit to, we may want others to get benefited by our actions. But we should understand, no matter whomever we are, we need appropriate consultation from not priest, but from whom? who can give us the right guidance. And then we see that
Can we say that
wait, let me complete. If you have any question, you raise your hands. Okay, please mute. Yeah, so I'll give you opportunity to ask question. So when we have a situation with us, it's not that if we just get beatings from material energy, if we get some material problems, we'll become Krishna conscious. And it's not that if we have material prosperity, we will not remain Krishna conscious. Sometimes we think, na, Maya ka लात पड़ेगा, अच्छा भक्त बन जाएंगे. And अगर there is some material prosperity, हम अच्छा भक्त नहीं रहेंगे. So we need to understand that if we are in the right guidance, then prosperity or adversity both will help us to advance towards Krishna properly. And if we are not in right guidance, prosperity will create complications, adversities will create complications. You're able to understand what I am telling is, so if the right guidance is there, both prosperity and adversity, that will lead to advancement. And if there is no right guidance, then both prosperity and adversity will only lead to complications. And that's how, because Anga had no guru, that's why at least Krishna helped him. And his life is considered glorious. You will find in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, though so much of complications happened, Vena was born. First of all, one complication happened that he prayed to Vishnu to give him a son beyond the karma, which, as Sunita Mataji was telling, that it is beyond the rules. He was informed that he is not having a son for having some sinful activities and everything. So he should have been happy. Yes, okay. But he actually forced Vishnu. Right? So he forced Vishnu to give him a son. So that was the first mistake he did. So we should understand our relationship with Vishnu is very sacred. Our relationship with God is very sublime. We should not force and encash resources based on our relationship with Krishna or Guru. You're able to understand what I am telling? Just like, Uddharan Krishna Prabhu. So one person comes and relates with Uddharan Krishna Prabhu, give him lots of gifts and everything and all those things. And after 1 year, he realizes that he has come to get a job in his company. The person, how would you feel?
Feel like the person was using me.
And imagine he has given you a lot of favors and lot of things, and then he forces you that I have done so much, you must give me a job. Then how will you feel?
Committed some mistake.
Yeah. But though a spirit soul will think like this, Vishnu is so merciful that he didn't think like this. He still helped Anga to advance in spiritual life. He didn't reject Anga. Though Anga approached Vishnu for a material thing, Vishnu is so intelligent, he gave a material thing and ensured that Anga still progresses in spiritual life. Right? So it is not Vishnu's fault, it is Anga's fault to, though beyond his karma, he is asking Vishnu because he knows that Vishnu can fulfill beyond karma. Yes, Krishna can fulfill beyond karma, but we should never use this principle until and unless there is an emergency. You are able to understand what is an emergency? Only when there is an emergency. It is like, I will die if Vishnu doesn't help me. Then only it is said that we can approach Vishnu for some material desires. Otherwise, we must understand that our relationship with Vishnu or Krishna is not to enhance my material life. My relationship with Vishnu or Krishna or God is to actually progress me, help me progress towards Him and go back to Godhead. Let me suffer my good karma, let me enjoy my good karma or suffer my bad karma, whatever the karmas are there, let they come. But let me always remember you, O my Supreme Lord. That's the prayer of a devotee. And that's how we see that if we are not in the right guidance of a right spiritual master, we may get into lot of complications in life and later on complain that I am practicing spiritual life. Why so much of complications are happening? Why complications are happening? Because you are forcing Vishnu to enhance your material life. Your material life is a temporary period and Vishnu is not meant, or Krishna Bhakti is not meant to enhance your material life. Krishna will ensure that your material life is peaceful enough so that you can practice Krishna consciousness. You see the example of Anga. His life was going all good. There are so many people who didn't have son, so many kings. They adopted some sons, someone made cousin, brother or son. He could have done so many things. Anga had other brothers also. You understand? Other brothers. Matlab, Anga had cousins. Anga had brothers and the brothers had sons. You are able to understand? हमको लगता है मेरा बेटा ही अधिकारी बनेगा. अरे बेटा नहीं है, ठीक है, आपका भाई का बेटा बन जाएगा अधिकारी. We need to understand that this principle is very, very important for those who want to remain serious in Krishna consciousness to understand. Here, the main reason why things became complicated in Anga's life is that he forced Vishnu to enhance his karma. And definitely he was guided like that, but we cannot say that, okay, he said I did. Ultimately the responsibility lies on the person. So we need to understand that we should not use Krishna consciousness, use our relationship with God and Guru to force Guru and God to enhance our karma. Let my karma come in his own way, and let my bhakti remain separate from my material life. That is what is most important. Krishna will definitely take care of my material life, but he will take care of my material life. He would not enhance my material desires or fulfill my material desires. He will ensure that it goes on in such a way that I can practice bhakti. Anga Maharaj could have practiced his bhakti without having a son and peacefully in the kingdom. Yes? But he forced, nahi. He was told that, Are, you don't have a son because you do not have the necessary credits. But he forced Vishnu, no, I have to get a son. And because he forced Vishnu, he landed into so much of complications. Now a very vital question comes here. And the vital question is, when we can know, okay, sorry, let me remove this, and when to set boundary, how to understand what is the boundary. One may say, okay, there is a problem here, so let me not even try for a son or a daughter. Son, daughter is a, just don't take it literally, but let me not try only for anything in material life. Like if Chandan Kumar Prabhu, Ritu Mataji asked Chandan Prabhu that what about your job and salary? No, goal is spiritual life. We should not worry about salary, job. These are all material things. So how to set the boundary? What is the boundary? Because if you do not understand the thin line of boundary, we will not be able to practice bhakti nicely. So how to set the boundary? How to understand that I am going in a wrong zone or I am properly situated, whether I am really getting into zone like Anga Maharaj. Because until unless Anga Maharaj tried for a son, he would not understand that he will not get a son. So where to set the boundary? And how to understand what is the boundary? All of you are able to understand the question? Yeah. Oh, no answer. Yes, Selja Mataji has some answer.
प्रभु भी हमें बहुत ज्यादा प्रयास नहीं करना चाहिए, जैसे कि हमें चित्रकेतु महाराज की कथा में देखा था.
ओके, तो चित्रकेतु महाराज की तरह बहुत ज्यादा प्रयास नहीं करना चाहिए, तो और क्या करना चाहिए? ओके, तो वही तो हम पूछ रहे हैं कि बहुत ज्यादा प्रयास क्या है, कैसे पता चलेगा बहुत ज्यादा प्रयास कर रहे हैं? बहुत कम प्रयास, बहुत ज्यादा प्रयास, इट्स ऑल सब्जेक्टिव ना, इट्स नॉट ऑब्जेक्टिव कि यू कैन से ओके बहुत ज्यादा प्रयास हो गया. कैसे पता चलेगा कि वी आर गोइंग आउट ऑफ द बाउंड्री? ओके, ओके, सो पावन कृष्ण प्रभु. Okay, so we check with Guru, but Guru is always not available. Okay, ठीक है. The first thing is check with Guru. Nice thing. Yes. Next.
Hare Krishna Bodhanam.
So
our material desire covers our spiritual life. Like हम लोगों का जो इच्छा है वो इतना बढ़ जाता है कि हमारी भक्ति पे उस चीज का असर हो रहा है.
Okay, so
हमें फिर guidance लेनी चाहिए.
Okay, so if we take guidance, so it's the same thing. Okay, what else? Third.
Prabhuji,
Yeah.
Prabhuji, when we have tried everything that was in our hand and we don't get any results, maybe, then we should think it's for the
Okay.
stop craving for that anymore.
So when we don't get result, we say that angur khatte hain. It was not for me. Let me practice. Okay. So, but where to set the boundary? How much to try? That is the question. Yes, Mohit Prabhu. How much to try?
Till the time our spiritual life is not getting affected
Okay.
by material
Okay, so this is a very nice point. One Hari Bol for Mohit Prabhu. So till the time our spiritual life is not affected. Okay. Oh, who is? Please keep muted. Okay, till the time our spiritual life is not affected, we can try, and that is the boundary. Now, how do we understand that our spiritual life has got affected?
When our
Hmm.
when our desire gets decreased, to get advanced in spiritual life.
So, spiritual desires are diminished. Okay. What else?
So
Yeah.
the spiritual master gives us some basic standards.
Okay, so basic standards we are not able to follow. What else?
We are not able to chant attentively.
We are not able to chant attentively. What else? So these are some of the things. So there is no boundary we have to understand for material life. So first thing is that we have to set boundaries for our spiritual life. इतना तो मेरे को करना है और हर साल इससे ज्यादा बढ़ाना है. You're able to understand? Like I was telling that when we had joined, so we started with 6:30 program, right? And all devotees, I remember when we disclosed that 6:30 we'll have Bhagavatam class, all devotees were telling 7 p.m. we should have a Bhagavatam class in the evening, because 6:30 who will get up, Prabhuji? Like that they were telling. And now, because I had a desire that we should chant Hare Krishna in the morning, and in the evening we should have class. Now when I asked the monitors and all devotees that I am thinking that we should shift the class to the evening, all monitors said, no, we talked, we should have class in the morning itself. बिकॉज प्रभु जी मॉर्निंग में क्लास हो जाता है, दिन भर हमको काम करने का समय मिल जाता है, कुछ भी हम कर सकते हैं, मॉर्निंग का क्लास होना चाहिए, इवनिंग में हम थोड़ा घूम सकते हैं, ये हो सकता है, वो हो सकता है. आई सेड ओके ठीक है, we'll have class in the morning only, but we have to come in for chanting. Now we should understand not that we should have some basic spiritual standards, we should have a plan for enhancing those spiritual standards. If we do not have a plan for increasing our spiritual life, definitely we'll have plan for increasing our material life, because the mind's nature is to plan. So you cannot stop the mind from planning. You cannot, because मन का जो है परिकल्पना करना मन का बहुत महत्वपूर्ण अंग है. The mind's nature is to plan. And that's how we should keep, let us say for example, 2024. These are the basic things I should follow. And then 2025, I should have some basic standards and little enhancement of the standards. So we should set boundaries in spiritual life. Until unless we set spiritual boundaries, we will not be able to control our material desires. Because in material world, material desires are natural. In material world, the desire to enhance material life is natural. What is not natural has to be set. Correct? You are able to understand? What is unnatural? What has to be, like for example, what is natural in this world is that if I leave this flower, it will go down. Correct? This is natural. Now if I have to make it stay, then I have to keep a boundary. Then only this flower will stay. So the natural thing in this world is that spirituality will go down and material life will go up. Now if I have to keep spirituality up, then first thing is that I don't have to set material boundaries, I have to set spiritual boundaries in life. So there is no parameter to set material boundaries in life. No guru can tell you what will be your material boundaries. Guru can tell you what should be your spiritual boundaries and how you should always increase your spiritual boundary. And if we set spiritual boundaries, then we'll be able to understand that these are my spiritual boundaries, and beyond that I should not go, and below whatever is time remaining, that is for my material life. So, to revise that, we see that King Anga didn't had a guru or spiritual master to take guidance, and he took guidance from the priest who guided King Anga to enhance his material life, right? They never suggested, King, you don't have a karma, why you are unnecessarily forcing Lord Vishnu? Rather, they suggested, you worship Vishnu, you will get everything, right? So Anga had no guru but a Purohit. So Krishna blessed us with guru. So sometimes we may not have guru, but sometimes we may have guru, but we make guru as Purohit. And then we discussed how we can make guru as Purohit if we approach him for our material desires. We never ask or inquire how our spiritual life can happen, or we go with a material desire and to get a stamp, right? To get a guru stamp or spiritual stamp for our material desires, right? And we take blessings of for our family, for our material life, and all those things, right? We approach for that purpose. So now the next thing we discuss is that, so if we break the rules and we don't take guidance, we are not dependent on the Lord, or we look for guru for the consultation. So King Anga did so many things for the mistakes, but the major mistake King Anga did is that he forced Vishnu to enhance his karma. He could have looked for right consultation and all, but he never looked for the right consultation. So how to understand what is the right boundary is that we need to understand that if our spiritual life is going on properly, if the basic standards are going on properly, then we are in the right boundary. That is very, very important. Okay? Is this clear? Are there any question? Yeah. Okay. Yes. How do I tell? Udharan Krishna Prabhu. Yes, Udharan Krishna Prabhu.
Hi Krishna Prabhu, I have two questions, but I'll ask the first one. So from Anga's perspective, we see he was a king who was following Vedic rules and regulations. So one can say that his desire to get a son is to hand over the kingdom to his son, and then he could leave to the forest for following the Varnashram Dharma for one person. But so that could also be the case, right?
Yeah, tell.
Yes, Prabhuji. So my question is that one can say that Anga was part of Vedic civilization.
Yes.
So his this thing would be to hand over the kingdom to a suitable person.
Yes.
His son, because
Yes.
he's in the Kshatriya kingdom. And then leave for the forest to practice spirituality.
Yeah.
So Lord could have seen that also, right?
Lord could have done that. What means?
So Lord could have sensed that intention also for Anga.
Yes, Lord could have done so many things, but we need to understand that Anga could have anyway do that by searching for some other appropriate person who can become the next king. Yes? Instead of, if he came to know that my karmas do not give me opportunity for getting a son, so then he should have found out another person who can become the king, next king. What's wrong in that? The problem is he forced Lord Vishnu. And if you force Lord Vishnu will also play with you. He is also a person. Right? Does that answer your question?
But Prabhu, if Lord wanted him, I mean, since I understand what Lord is trying to do, that he wants Anga to come to practice spirituality.
Yes.
But there could be other ways also. That's what I was thinking. That from this way also.
The other way is this. The other way is this, that Lord actually, why the demigods were not coming? You see, the demigods are capable of giving, and the demigods could have come. The demigods didn't come because they saw that he is a devotee. Why unnecessarily will complicate his life? Because if he gets a son, he is going to get a son who is going to be very, very purifying. Later on in the purport, if you read, it is mentioned that Sunita, you know Sunita, the wife of Anga. So the wife of Anga was daughter of death personified. He was daughter of death personified. Now, the demigods, they understood that this Anga's wife is daughter of death personified, and if death personified, daughter of death personified gets a son, then how the son would be? Definitely like Vena. Yes? So by not giving a son was blessing or curse? So, but what Anga understood? That's the problem. So that is how we require a person who can help us understand what is blessing, what is curse. And that's why Guru is required. You are able to understand? Actually, it was a blessing already given to Anga for not having a son. But he could not understand the blessing. He wanted the blessing to be converted to curse and complicate his life. So what can be done? You are able to understand? Now Krishna already wanted. Krishna never wanted him to have a son. Otherwise, he could have a son without the yajna. Na? Yes. So Krishna wanted his life to remain simple so that he can practice bhakti. Who complicated his life? Krishna or Anga? Anga only. That is what is most important, I have been telling. It is not Krishna who complicated his life. Rather, Krishna helped Anga at least beyond those complications. Krishna at least gave Anga the right intelligence. Okay, okay, now you leave the kingdom. You leave it. I will settle it out. And Krishna came to settle it out as Prithu Maharaj. It's not that Krishna didn't come. Krishna came to settle out Anga's mistake as Prithu later on. So it is not Krishna, it is Anga who did the mistake. Krishna actually though Anga's wife was death personified, why Anga married to wife of death personified? That was the first mistake. You should marry an appropriate girl. If you marry the wife of death personified, and then Krishna helped Anga, and though he married a lady who is a daughter of death personified, still Krishna helped Anga that let him not have a son, because if he gets a son, it will become more complicated. Okay. And still Anga didn't understand, and still he was praying for. You are able to understand how Anga is forcing?
Yes, yes,
पहले तो गलती किया, गलत लड़की से शादी किया, फिर उसके बाद भगवान को पता चला गलत लड़की से शादी किया है तो बेटा होगा तो और भी गड़बड़ होगा, तो बेटा नहीं देते हैं। फिर भगवान को नहीं बेटा चाहिए, फिर भगवान ने दे दिया, ठीक है लो, यही बेटा आपका होना वाला था, ये दे लो, ले लो जो मैंने रोक के रखा था। You're able to understand?
yes.
Okay, next. Okay, I think they will not come. Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Actually, here basically one thing to learn is we should not use our guru or the blessing of having a guru as a purohit. But at the same, on the other side, Prabhu, like we see the case of Dhruv Maharaj, he also had material desire.
Yeah.
And even here, King Anga is having a material desire.
Yes.
But the difference was Dhruv Maharaj had his mother who guided him to go to Guru.
Yes.
But here, King Anga did not have any guidance that he should approach a Guru, or he was not inspired to go to a Guru so that he can get the right guidance. But then here it is basically also
so regarding Dhruva Maharaj and why Krishna did like this with Dhruva Maharaj and why, so that is a topic of discussion for your book reading sessions. So that question is there in the book reading sessions. So I will, so you have to first discuss, then we'll discuss in the next class. Okay? Okay, next question. Monalisa Mataji. Dandabat.
Prabhuji, Krishna always wants best for his devotees. So with that understanding, ये जो sentence है ना, that we should never use the principle that Vishnu can offer us beyond karma unless an emergency. So what can be the emergency? I cannot think of any emergency. जहाँ पे we should suggest Krishna that this should happen like this, because he knows the best. Why should we ask anything beyond karma?
Yeah, that's best. So if one is able to understand that there is no emergency, Krishna is my well-wisher and Krishna knows what is best, then it's best. But at least Rupa Goswami and our acharyas have said emergency means death. Bodily dysfunction. So these are all emergency that we can pray to Krishna, that oh Krishna, keep me in good health so that I can serve you better. That's the only thing, only material desire we can ask and pray to Krishna. That's what our acharyas have said. But even in that also, many devotees do not pray like that. Many devotees say, okay Krishna, this is, if you want to give me these type of difficulties, then also it's fine. Right? So we need to understand that Krishna is our well-wisher, and only in emergency, according to our acharyas, especially bodily dysfunctions and death and all those, we can pray to Krishna for our, so that we can serve him better. Beyond that, we should not unnecessarily make Krishna interfere with our material life. We should say, oh Krishna, I have done my karma, let me suffer and enjoy, but you ensure that I remember you at every situation in life. Like this is, he is praying, Mukund Mala Stotra Kula Shekhar is praying, very nice prayer, all of you, one person can. Naham bande tava charanayor dvanda madvanda heto kumbi pakam guru napi hare narakam napanetum Rama ramya mrudutanulata nandane napirantum bhave bhave hrudaya bhavane bhavayam bhavantam Naham bande tava charanayor dvanda madvanda heto. Oh Lord, I am not worshipping you to come out of the dualities of the material world. Dvanda, advanda, heto. Heto matlab cause. Naham bande tava charanayor dvanda madvanda heto. Kumbi pakam guru napi hare narakam napanetum. I am not worshipping you to get out of Kumbi Pak or hellish condition of life. That is not the reason I am worshipping you. Rama ramya mrudutanulata nandane napirantum. Rantum means enjoy. I am not worshipping you so that I can enjoy beautiful women or beautiful men whose bodies are very soft, like a teddy bear. I want to embrace them and enjoy bodily pleasures like that. I am not worshipping you like that. In whatever situation, whether you give me bodily pleasures or you give me hellish punishment, in all situation, bhabe bhabe, if I just want Hrudaya bhavane, in my bhavan of my heart, bhavayantam, I only remember you, O my Lord. That is my only prayer. So that's the best prayer considered by the Vaishnavas. That whether hell, whether bodily difficulty, whether material prosperity, bhave bhave hrudaya bhavane, bhavayantam bhavantu. Right? But still, if we cannot do this best, at least we should not go down below emergency. We should only pray for material emergency. Otherwise, we should not disturb Krishna for our material things. Is this clear?
Yes.
We should keep our material life separate. Let it happen with our karma. We should keep our spiritual life separate. Spiritual life is for going back to Godhead. Material life, based on my karma, whatever will happen, we should only pray, oh Krishna, don't complicate my material life in such a way that I cannot practice bhakti. That's it. And Krishna will help you in that way. But if you yourself will pray to Krishna, Krishna ऐसे कर लेंगे, अच्छा होगा, वैसे करने का, then Krishna कर लेंगे, फिर complicate हो जाएगा. फिर then you will say, oh Krishna, why my material life has complicated? No, material life has not got complicated because of Krishna, because of you. So Anga Maharaja's life got complicated because of Krishna or Anga? Anga. That is the lesson. That is the lesson that we are supposed to draw from this first class. Okay. Is this clear? Next.
Probably, can I ask? My question is related to what Mataji said. So, I was recently talking to one devotee and he has been practicing serious Krishna consciousness since last 8 years. In between, like, he has been practicing for 16 years, but he left in between and then again 8 years. So, his health is very bad for last 8 years. And he has been actually practicing Krishna consciousness so that his health can become bad and
so that his health can become bad or good?
Become good. So it's not happening. And as you said, it's like for a health situation we can pray. But in this situation also Krishna is not giving result and he is telling that he has lost faith and all. So I mean, what is the actual emergency situation that as Mataji was asking? It is how to actually understand. If somebody asks and at that time Krishna doesn't help, then what will be like? They will become.
So first thing is that we need to understand we should have right purpose of practicing bhakti. If our right purpose is only not there to practice bhakti, then what is speak of emergency? Our purpose is only wrong. Emergency and health emergency will happen only when we have the right purpose. If a person is practicing bhakti so that his health is enhanced, or he comes to bhakti so that his health is enhanced, the purpose is wrong. In the beginning of our spiritual life, we may come to spiritual life for some material purpose. That's okay. But we need to purify our purpose. If you don't purify our purpose, then what Krishna can do?
So actually not exactly he is doing for that purpose, but as we read from Krishna says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham.
Yes.
So I provide what he lacks and preserve what he has.
Yes.
So then his health is bad, then he's thinking it is already, so he's not going to demigods, but he's thinking Krishna will actually cure my disease so that I can practice.
So that's what I'm telling, na, the right purpose is to advance. And Krishna knows that his ill health is conducive for his advancement. So why he can't see like that? It's not necessary. It's not necessary that ill health will create obstacle in my advancement. He has a particular idea of advancement, and Krishna has a particular idea of advancement. Because in he is losing faith because he is not associating with the right appropriate person. He is not surrendering to Guru. That's why the faith or Guru Padashraya is the first principle of spiritual life. If he doesn't have a Guru whom he has faith, then he will not have faith on Krishna. Faith on Krishna is dependent on faith on Guru and Sadhus and Shastras. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, Shraddha के ऊपर निर्भर करता है, कृष्ण के ऊपर श्रद्धा, because कृष्ण को तो देख ही नहीं पा रहे हम. So that means if he is losing faith on Krishna, he has some problem with the faith with Guru, Sadhu or Shastras. Because ill health is a very, very subjective thing, because Krishna consciousness practices can be done in every situation. Every situation. Anyone can practice. Only the, the difference is how one practices bhakti. We are ultimately one day we are going to go to the bed, become old. So what will happen? No, we cannot practice. We can practice in old age also. Only the difference will be there how we will practice in old age. Yes. Fourth. Next. Sama Priya Mataji.
Krishna Prabhu Dandat. Prabhu, my question is also closely related to Purnamisa Mataji's special. So, in some emergency situations, we are asked to pray, like when someone falls ill, like Guru Maharaj falls ill or anybody, they say we should pray for them. So, in that situation, since Krishna already has a plan, why should we pray, Prabhu, and what difference is it going to make?
So that is how Srila Prabhupada and all our acharyas have said what to pray. We should not pray that, oh, Guru Maharaj get cured. We should not pray that, oh, this devotee get cured. We should not pray like that. Srila Prabhupada has instructed us, we should pray that, oh Krishna, if it is your will that this devotee gets cured, Guru Maharaj gets cured, please do that. So that's the prayer. That's the mood in which we should do the prayer. We should never try to force Krishna. So like some devotee is in ICU and we are asked to pray for him. So we should pray that, oh Krishna, if it is your will that this devotee survives, then let that happen. But if it is your will that this devotee should go to his next destination, you please fulfill that. But at least if this devotee is planned to go to the next destination, please offer him a good destination so that he can practice bhakti. And if he has already perfected his life, please take him back to God. So we should not force Krishna. We should always tell Krishna, Krishna, please do your will, and this is my will, but ultimately your will is superior to my will. So there is a method how to pray Krishna also. Okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Prabhuji, in this context, I have a
can you follow the Okay,
sorry,
yes,
that's correct.
yes. Thank you. Poonam Mataji, then Sanjukta Mataji, Sukruti Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Prabhuji, like sometimes, like in the services also, we are doing services which are of our will, and but I've seen like all like our spiritual master and everyone else, they are following the will of even they don't will to do the these services, but they are following the instructions of their superiors. So, like we are thinking that we have this material desire, so it can be directed into spiritual. But there is a better plan Krishna has. So, how we can get the strength to do that?
Yeah. So how we can get the strength to do what is will of our spiritual master in terms of services? Yes.
Yes.
So at least we start doing services. What is what we think is pleasing to our mind. At least we start with that. That's a good beginning. Later on, we were only doing material activities. What is pleasing to our mind? At least we start doing those services which we think it is pleasing to our mind or our ability. This is first thing. Second thing, right spiritual master will always engage his disciple according to his or her abilities. So it's not that the spiritual master or Krishna is happy to see that us in a challenging or complicated situation. It was not that Krishna was happy seeing Anga in a complicated situation. But if Anga forced Krishna to be in the complicated situation, what Krishna will do? ठीक है, करो, झेलो. So understand, Krishna is not a sadistic person that Krishna will force us to do something. Otherwise, why would Krishna go to Duryodhana and ask 5 villages for the Pandavas? The Pandavas are Kshatriyas. To do any other work for the Pandavas, for them to act like Brahmanas, for them to act like Vaishyas, for them to act like Sudras would be very difficult. It will be a complicated and challenging situation for them. For them, natural is to be like a Kshatriya. And that's why Krishna said, okay, if they are happy if you give them 5 villages also. They are Kshatriyas, but they are peaceful, satisfied Kshatriyas. So it's not that Krishna wants our material life to become complicated. But if we want to be complicated, then what Krishna can do? So it's not that Krishna wants us to do what he wants us to do. If we want something to offer to Krishna, bhakti is very, very personal. That's all allowed. Some devotees want to do book distribution, some devotees want to do preaching, some devotees want to do deity services. That's bhakti is very, very personal. Krishna loves that. So we do not have to worry that I am doing something which I want to do and offer it to Krishna. And no, not necessarily it is wrong. If we are specifically told that, oh Krishna, Mataji, you should not do this, you should do this, then we should think. If Gurus and Krishna, they are encouraging us in our services which we want to do, so we should not think so many things. We should do, oh, this is what my Guru wants us to do, wants me to do. Is this clear? So we should not try to overthink. Because Krishna, the spiritual master, if he is right, he will definitely tell. At least he will not try to please us or pamper us. He will tell the truth. Okay?
So we are getting instructions as far as surrender.
Yeah, so definitely our surrender is a factor. But the spiritual master will tell us the truth, and we can see how much we can take that truth based on our surrender. Yes? Okay, Sanjukta Mataji. Yes.
The question is little bit different than the other devotees have asked.
No problem.
I am not a feminist person, but But Prabhuji, my question is that the first sloka you have chanted, 4.13.31, and even many other cases also we have heard, the Grihastha needs a son.
Yes.
Even in Shraddha also we have seen sons used to give that tarpan and other all those things. Prabhuji, please make me clear in this understanding, Prabhuji.
Yeah, so why the scriptures, I understood the question. You don't have to elaborate. This is common question. Why the scriptures tell that son has to give tarpan, why a son is required, and why a daughter cannot do? Because daughter's gotra gets changed after marriage. Now, why daughter's gotra has to get changed after marriage? Because if we, on a medical level also, biologically, if brothers and sisters get married and they have physical union, the child is born with physical disabilities because of chromosomes, DNA, RNA, वो सब मैं बचपन में पढ़ा था, भूल गया हूँ मैं. So, but if brother and sisters they get married, so there has to be a see, marriage is for creating praja, is very clear. So now the scriptures want that the good praja are created from the marriage, and for good praja to be created, the marriage requires the compatibility. Not just gotra compatibility, there are so many other compatibilities any astrologer can tell us. So gotra compatibility is also very important, and marriages are not, gotra means what? There was Kashyapa gotra, then there is Bharadwaj gotra, so we are all from one rishi. So so if we ultimately marry in our own gotra, we are actually on a broader level marrying our brother or sister only, because the same family, we are coming from the same rishi. So then ultimately we are marrying from brother sister, and there are many cases where people have married in the same gotra and there had been medical disabilities of the children, and that is how the ladies gotra is said. Now one may say ki why the man's gotra is not changed, why the lady's gotra is changed. That also people can say, why the lady has to change the gotra, why? So now why the lady has to change the gotra? Because the lady goes, generally it is said that the lady goes to the house of another father or anything, because ladies are very, very adaptable. Male ego is not adaptable. Ladies are, the female ego is more adaptable. So if you ask a man to change his gotra, change his name, it's very, very, and now because females are becoming more manly, their female ego is reducing, their man ego is increasing, and that is how the females are also becoming very, very stubborn. But generally men are stubborn. So if men are asked to change their gotra or go to another family, it would not be possible. And that's why the females are more adaptable, and that the scriptures advise that, okay, thik, let the ladies go to and change their gotra. But these gotra system and all these marriages and all those things are meant only for proper praja. Now, since the lady changes her gotra, and that's why the lady is not allowed to do the pindadan, because you have to be in the same gotra to offer the pindadan. Right? So, when we say that why the ladies have to do like this, actually it is a glorification of the ladies, one should understand. The feminists, they try to see it as a क्या उसको बोलते हैं offense or patriarchal and all those things. अरे वो नहीं है. The scriptures are telling that the ladies are more flexible, they are more adaptable, their ego is more adaptable, they are more simple, and they love to surrender, they can easily surrender, and these are the good qualities of the ladies. And because the ladies have good qualities, that's why they are asked, okay, theek hai bhai, anyway someone has to change the gotra, so you change the gotra, you come to this gotra, and let the good prajas are created. Right? So we should see that in that light. Did you understand the answer? Why the ladies cannot do? So the ladies can do if they are in the same gotra, but generally you can only offer pindadan after marriage. Like when my mother's pindadan was there, so the pujaris, they said that we will close the tarpan because your son is not going to get married, and for sannyasis or someone who is not married, he cannot give tarpan. Tarpan and pindadan can be only done by grihasthas. It is the duty of grihasthas. So the first qualification of offering pinda to your forefathers is you have to be a grihastha, you have to be married. And the second one is you have to be in the same gotra. And this is only possible for a son. You're able to understand?
Yes, Prabhuji, I understood this project. लेकिन Prabhuji जैसे बोलता है ना कि सान ही चाहिए, मतलब सारे गृहस्थ सान is required. So my question is, why not daughter only?
The son is required. Son is required because people are karmakandi. People are in previous times and all the times, most of the times, people are karmakandis. They know that if proper pindadan happens, then I will go to Swarga. So that's why they used to be, understand, desiring a son is not a spiritual desire or not a very, very high desire. We see kya ho gaya Anga Maharaj ke saath. And we will see another pastime also, Rishabh Dev ka, we will see that there was Nabhi, King Nabhi, who also prayed for a son. And Vishnu came. And King Nabhi said, "Oh Vishnu, I want you to come as my son." And then our acharyas write that Vishnu was very, very frustrated with this prayer. He was not happy. But still he came as his son, as Rishabdev. Because anything you pray to Vishnu, it will happen. But Lord Vishnu is not happy. So desiring a son is a material desire. And why they are desiring son? They don't want son. They want Swarga. So it's not desire for a son. It is their personal selfish desire to go to Swarga. And they know that son आता है, तो लड़की आता है, तो उसका गोत्र बदल जाएगा, फिर पिंडदान मेरे को कैसे कौन करेगा, एंड पिंडदान नहीं होगा तो मैं स्वर्ग में नहीं जा पाऊंगा, फिर नरक में जाना पड़ेगा. That's the whole business. Right? This is not some great love for son and great hatred for daughter. Nothing. In conditioned life, one loves only himself or herself. कोई किसी को प्रेम नहीं कर रहा है. Is this clear? Now the scriptures tell, na, you don't have to be in your gotra to offer pindadan. Immediately, yes, we can, son ho, daughter ho, हमको पिंडदान मिल रहा है, हमको क्या फर्क पड़ता है? So that's the thing. And as devotees, we should not be worried about son and daughter. We should be worried about one is a devotee. If son comes, he is a devotee, nice. If daughter comes, he is a devotee, it's nice. Because a devotee can deliver. Is this clear?
Yes.
So if devotee is there, it can deliver. Yes.
You want some brahmachari assistants?
Yeah, so we also want some brahmachari assistants. So if all of you ladies and men give some good brahmachari assistant, I'll be so grateful, right? I also want sons, but I want some brahmacharis. Because you see, if one becomes a grihastha, then lot of time goes in managing the family responsibilities, but a brahmachari has more time. And it's not that a grihastha cannot advance in spiritual life or go back to Godhead, but a brahmachari has more time for the society. So we need some minimum number of brahmacharis, and we have only 1500 brahmacharis in entire ISKCON for the entire world. It is said that at least within 1000 families, we should have one sannyasi. So we are far less. So one sannyasi taking care of 1000 families. That's the ratio. Now what is happening? One sannyasi has to take so many disciples. And what is happening? The disciples are not getting time for the guru, and the guru doesn't have time because there is less brahmacharis and sannyasis. So if you have good number of brahmacharis and sannyasis, this problem will not happen. People crying, oh, I am not able to meet my guru. My guru has no time. He has so many disciples. Why is happening? Because we have less gurus. It's not that only sannyasis can become guru, but the point is the sannyasis and brahmacharis, they have more time. Right? So best is to have two sons, one son brahmachari, one son grihastha. One son for you, one son for me. That is a good advice. But if you have one son, what can be done? Now generally people have one son. But I was one son, but I am still brahmachari. So that means that hope is also there. Okay. Anyway, I will not take all of your sons. Don't worry, don't be afraid. Even if you give, he may not become brahmachari. And he will only create problems for me in the brahmachari ashram. So, yes, who is there? Nidhi Mataji was... okay. Yes, Sukriti Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Dandabad.
Prabhuji, people in India, they are generally pious and then they go to Krishna for every small issue and they don't have the concept of Guru also.
Yes.
Gurus are very rare, genuine Gurus are very rare. So is it wrong that they are going? And also like Vishnu is a person that you are telling. So it means if the bad is coming in spite of praying, is it coming from karma?
Yeah, so exactly.
From Vishnu?
So this is exactly the question I have put in the discussions for the assignment. So this Anga Maharaj's story, what Vishnu did for Anga Maharaj, is a very, very special case. Krishna will not do this for new souls, because Krishna himself says in Bhagavad Gita that anyone who comes with a material desire to me is Sukritino. Right? So Krishna will not do. But after we go to Krishna, our material desires are fulfilled, we develop some faith on Krishna, we have been going to temple. So it is the duty of the temple to offer a guru. And that's how we, in our temple, if you, as soon as you enter ISKCON temples, you will see, oh, this devotee is giving class, that devotee is giving class, that devotee. So we try to propagate different devotees. Why? We are actually propagating different gurus only, na? And then they see, oh, array, this person is giving class, he is from IIT. So people get again inspired because of the IIT, not because of the person. And then they go attend some classes and all, then they, oh, this is very nice. And then they get the knowledge that we should not approach Krishna for material desires. We should approach Krishna for going back to God. Right? So that's not a problem. So what Krishna did for Anga, he will not do for us and for any generic person. It's a very special case because Krishna wanted to purify Anga very fast. Yes. Don't worry. So if someone is going and not having a guru, it is Krishna's duty to give him a guru. So Krishna provides. And in ISKCON temples, it's our responsibility to provide gurus. Yes. It is clear.
Yes, Shruti. And one more thing, just by praying, will Krishna interfere in our cycle, or is it just karma coming? Krishna is not.
Krishna doesn't interfere with our karma. That is also another question. Krishna says that I am udasina bhat, I am neutral for. But when we are devotees, Krishna definitely interferes. And if some devotees are praying for us, then Krishna interferes. Otherwise, generally Krishna doesn't interfere. Okay. Yes, Selja Mataji, then Dev Malya Prabhu, then Uddharan Krishna Prabhu. So many questions are there. Okay.
Prabhuji, I have two questions. One question is, like, आपने अंग महाराज के बारे में जो भी सुना, जो उसने डिवोटी का तो लगा नहीं, क्योंकि उसके पास गुरु नहीं थे. So how he was devotee? He was like a pious person, we can say, like सतोगुणी थे. But वो devotee कैसे हुआ अगर उनके पास गुरु ही नहीं थे?
Yeah, so previous times it was not like Kali Yuga. Previous times people were knowing the methods of devotional service, chanting, and people used to do that. It was there a part of the daily activity. It's not that he didn't had a guru. So he didn't had a paramarthik guru. who can guide him in spiritual life. So he had gurus who were telling him how to do the rituals, how to do the chanting and all. Those things were there, a part of the Vedic culture. Everyone was supposed to go to the Gurukula ashram and all those things. So what is meant of not having a guru is a paramarthik guru who can guide him in the paramarthik way. So that was missing. It's clear?
और प्रभु जी चित्रकेतु महाराज से इनका स्टोरी कैसे अलग है?
It's the same thing only, but Chitraketu Maharaj story alag hai because Chitraketu Maharaj was blessed with a son through a pure devotee, and they were blessed with a son through the Purohits. That's how it is different. Okay? Yes, Devamalya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hari Bol, Dandabad.
Prabhuji, my question is regarding one of the answer which you gave. Like the blessings, like whatever we pray to the Lord, okay, either it could be a good blessing or maybe it can be a curse. Like Anga Maharaj's situation is. Okay. Now, Guru is the only person who can guide us, whether it is like if we are not able to understand whether it is a good blessing or the curse. Okay, so like how to pray, the Guru can only guide us. Now, like how to identify like which Guru can help us to choose the correct path, or sometimes it can be happen like the Guru is not there. Okay, so how we can choose at that point of time?
Yeah. So if Guru is not there, so first of all, when Guru is there, we need to surrender. And when we have surrendered over so many years, when Guru is there, then when Guru is not there, Krishna will become as Guru. Like we see in this creation, we see when we'll read in the 3rd canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, sometimes it happens that there is no one to become Brahma, then Krishna becomes Brahma. There is no one to become Indra, then Krishna becomes Indra. So there is no one to become our Guru, then Krishna becomes our Guru. Provided we have shown surrender to Guru when Guru is living. When Guru is living, we are least bothered about taking guidance from Guru. Then Krishna will not become our Guru when Guru is not there. This is first thing. Second thing, the basic standards and boundaries is our spiritual life, and the standards for our spiritual life should be intact. Remaining our material life decisions and all, if they are not majorly affecting our spiritual life, we should try to take responsibility of our material life. We should not be like a spoon-feeding disciple, you know, mummy, papa, मेरे को खाना खिला दीजिए. We should not be like a spoon-fed, pampered disciple. We should take material responsibilities in our own life in such a way that they don't affect our spiritual life. So we should see that our material decisions are not affecting our spiritual life. We should ask, oh, what are the basic standards and basic services we must do? So we should do some basic sadhana, basic seva. And we should see that our material life doesn't affect our basic seva and basic sadhana. So if that is there, then beyond that, we have to take our responsibility of our material life, right? But generally that doesn't happen. Generally we take decisions in such a way that our spiritual life gets affected. We don't get time for chanting, we do not get time for doing our service, no time for seva, no time for preaching, no time, what time I have to do my work. So that it should not happen. Is this clear? So first thing is that if a Guru is living, we should take guidance. And if we have done that, Krishna has seen that, then Krishna will offer us help when his Guru is not there. Second, we should direct our material life in such a way that our spiritual life is enhancing and it is continuing.
So, but Prabhu, in Anga Maharaj's case, like if suppose he started following a Guru, okay, it can be happen like he could have blindly followed that Guru and that Guru might be the wrong person.
Yeah.
Right? So how to identify that situation?
So that is how we are not telling people to follow Guru. We are telling people to follow Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. 3 things. So what Guru is telling, the Sadhus also should speak the same thing. So then it is clear. If the Guru is telling and the Sadhus are also telling the same thing, then it is very clear. So, and if Guru is telling, sadhus are telling, shastras are telling, it's very clear. So, it's not that we are telling to follow Guru. We are telling to follow Guru, sadhus and shastras. Like we have Guru and association of Guru. Similarly, we have association of sadhus. That is we have our friend circles who are devotees, and we have shastras. So Guru, Sadhu, Shastra should match. And I have seen many times that what I speak to someone, the sadhus also speak the same thing, the shastras also speak the same thing. So Guru, Sadhu, Shastra is important. So if we think that only Guru is important, then there is a chance of problem. But if you understand Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, three things are important, then there is no chance of problem. There is no chance. If devotees are also telling the same thing, Guru is also telling the same thing, Shastra is also telling the same thing, still we think, oh, maybe these are all improper person, they are not giving right guidance, then what can be done? Then we have to suffer only. Okay? Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Hari Bol. Yes, Dharan Krishna Prabhu.
Krishna Prabhuji. So my question is continuation of other devotees like Shalja Mataji. You were saying that we didn't have Paramatmik Guru, but typically in Indian society we have seen that we have a family priest who is there, and then we start considering him as a guru and take diksha and all. So for somebody to arrive on the right path, what's inspiration that person has, because he's already in touch with somebody spiritual. So for Maharaj also, he was there surrounded by so many priests. But yeah, not a guru, but how that need could arise for somebody to have a guru and not a purohit.
Yeah, that's true. So the need will arrive because of material energy. The material energy, that is the job of the material energy, is very, very important for preaching. The material energy creates such situation that this person will be finding out. So that is one thing. Second thing, if people are pious, they are having a purohit, they're pious. So sometimes they will land up into some temples where there is a Sadguru, and so then they may get some association. So one thing is that they may get some big kicks, because of which they may find out some other person, and while finding out some other person, they may land up into a good guru. Or the second one, because they are pious, they may be visiting different temples, they may find out some other guru. And that's how Brahmanda Brahmite Kaun Bhagyavan Jeev Guru Krishna Prasad Paye Bhakti Lata Beej. That's why one has to understand, बहुत भाग्य से सही गुरु मिलता है. I am telling you, बहुत भाग्य से सही गुरु मिलता है. That is there. बहुत भाग्य. Like His Holiness Gaur Govind Swami Maharaj has written a book called When Good Fortune Arises. So in that, the entire book is about when the good fortune will arise, when somehow or other a person meets a right spiritual master. How somehow or other will happen, no one knows. And that is how, as devotees, if it is our responsibility to propagate the right spiritual masters. It is important that we propagate the right spiritual masters, so that the wrong spiritual masters will become oblivious. It's our responsibility. It is our responsibility to propagate Srila Prabhupada. As followers of Srila Prabhupada, we understand how pure Srila Prabhupada's message is. So it's our responsibility to propagate Srila Prabhupada and speak what Srila Prabhupada is speaking. Glorify Srila Prabhupada. More and more we glorify Srila Prabhupada, people will accept Srila Prabhupada as their guru. So it is our responsibility, it is disciples' responsibility. When he gets a good guru, then it is his responsibility to propagate that guru so that others get the good guru. Right? Yes?
Yes, okay, thank you.
Haribol, yes. Okay, what happened to someone else? Samapriya Mataji, you don't have question now? Okay, so please ask.
But I just saw the fact.
So those who want to leave can leave, At 8 o'clock only, those who want to leave can leave. Our time is till 8 o'clock, and remaining question answers is for others. If you want to stay, you stay, but 8 o'clock is the time. 6:30 to 8. You have to keep your video on. After that, whatever you want to do, you do. You are on your own mind. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Prabhu, like you were saying that we should pray only in emergencies. Now, in one shlok, Srimad Bhagavatam, it comes like, if someone has no desire, if someone has all the desires, if someone wants to merge, then he should pray to Krishna.
Yes.
And the third thing is that you said that our prayer should be like that. If Krishna, if it pleases you, then you should do this. I want this, but ultimately your desires is like dominant.
Yes.
So तीसरे वाला जो है वो अभी स्टेज में करना और to be truthful to that prayer is very difficult. Theoretically it's easy to say like Krishna, you are supreme, you are doing that. But theoretically, when some problems comes, to be truthful to that prayer is difficult. So how to see that? Because Bhagavatam says that we can pray to Krishna for even material desires also.
Yes. So Bhagavatam doesn't say that we pray to Krishna. Bhagavatam says that tibrena bhakti yogena. One should do tibrata bhakti. So how to do that? One has to understand, one has to act on one's own level. One should not go beyond one's adhikar. So if one's adhikar is still, your attachments to material realm is still there and all. So one should pray, oh Krishna, I am not able to give up these attachments. So please help me to give up these attachments and see that my devotional service is conducive. So ultimately, whether we are a new devotee or whether we are an old devotee, we need to understand the basic foundational principle that the material world is not our home. Until unless this principle is clear, so there is no question of advancing in spiritual life. Now, for making material world a comfortable place, if we have too many desires to make our material world a comfortable place, then we will not be able to advance in spiritual life. But if we somehow or other, we want to see that the material life is going on in such a way that it doesn't disturb my spiritual life, then all help will be provided by Krishna. You're able to understand? So, and Krishna knows whether this situation will be conducive for your bhakti or not conducive for your bhakti. So we should not try to become more intelligent to Krishna. We should surrender to Krishna and have faith on Krishna, have faith on Guru. Now, what if I have so much of attachments in my heart? Now, at one point of time, we have to give up these attachments. We cannot think that I will have the attachments and I will go back to Godhead. So Krishna has his own plan of purifying us. So we have to just accept the plan. Okay, theek hai Krishna, you know what is it. Just like I am telling you, if one boy is in class 4, so the teacher will give him class 10 level questions or class 4 level question. Bas. So if Krishna has put me in this situation, that means Krishna knows that I will qualify. It may be a little bit challenging, but it will not be in such a way that I'll fail. So we should have understanding that if this problem has come, I am capable enough to tackle this problem. Krishna has put this problem, put this test. That means he knows that I can pass this test. So Krishna will not give a test which will fail, just like any teacher. And Krishna will have a plan to purify our material desires. That is there. That is for guaranteed in spiritual life. एक चीज है कि हम शुद्ध तो होंगे ही. Okay? Yes. Sub Krishna Prabhu, then V Narasimha Prabhu.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
हाँ बोलो.
एक क्लैरिफिकेशन था. आप आंसर में बताया कि ये wife of so
wife of Anga, Sunita.
Sunita. So she was daughter of
death.
Yamaraj.
No, Yamaraj nahi, death personified. Yamaraj has Yamaraj is justice, Dharmaraj, Dharma personified. Death is a different person. Mrityuraj. Everything has a personification, na? Dharma, Yamaraj ka personification is Dharma, justice. He is the Supreme Court person. But Mrityu, just for example, then there is judge is there. So death personified matlab COVID. COVID is death, brought death. So like that, death person. What is this? Okay. So it is death personified. It's a different person than Yamaraj. Is this clear?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, Bir Nasim Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Like generally when we say that we have to prosect sadhu shastra, but generally if we see in the shastras we have general instructions. Because when there is actual problem in life, then you need someone who actually knows your situation. So it's the only one person that is a sadhu who remains in that particular circumstances to actually guide you, because in the scripture there may be many things. So again, we can't talk those things with the devotees also, because as we know that we respect everyone, but we can't take guidance from everyone.
Yeah.
So now ultimately every interpretation comes on the Guru.
Yeah.
So now let us say if there is a circumstances that when a particular person surrenders to that particular Guru, and later that particular Guru itself is facing some difficulties, so this person who has surrendered, whether he will get the benefits mean to say like generally when we surrender to the Guru, we get love for Godhead. Why? Because that Guru is guiding us from Guru Parampara. So basically we are surrendering to that person, or we are surrendering to that Guru Parampara system. So that person, even if there are no difficulties to that person, but this disciple can continue his journey as it is. So I just want clarification regarding this.
So what is the question?
Question is that if let us say there is a difficulty with the spiritual master itself.
Yes.
So whether this disciple who had surrendered to this particular spiritual master, he had surrendered him considering that because he has been sent by Krishna.
Yes.
So this person has dedicated his life on the basis of that.
Yes.
So this disciple will continue to grow in the same speed or in the same way as he was growing, even if the spiritual master left, or the disciple also goes with the spiritual master.
Oh, the disciple, if just like Bali Maharaj, Sukracharya is not giving him right instructions. So the Bali Maharaj rejected Sukracharya and accepted another guru. So in that way, we need to understand it's not that we have to surrender the Guru, even if the Guru is giving us directions against the Shastra. That's why the Guru's most important principle is to train us in Shastras. So if the Guru is training us in Shastras, reading the scriptures and telling us to read scriptures, understand the scriptures, then mostly we'll not land up into problem, because we know then according to Shastras what is right instruction, what is wrong instruction. And second principle is we need to understand that anyone can face difficulty in life. If our Guru faces difficulty, we follow his Guru. Ultimately, we are surrendering to Krishna through the Guru Parampara. Or we find out someone else, some other Guru who is not facing difficulty. Right? So that help is always provided. That's how sadhus are there. If we should understand that it's the sadhus who have offered me the shelter of this Guru, and this Guru has a problem, then the sadhus will offer me some other shelter, some other person who can give me shelter. So that's why Guru Sadhu Shastra is very, very important. We should understand that it's not just the Guru. Definitely, as you said, it's the Guru who knows everything. The Shastras we cannot interact. The sadhus we cannot tell our private matters. It's the Guru who knows everything. And that is how the responsibility of a Guru is also so important. And that's why if the Guru faces difficulties or cheats the disciple, then he is given a lot of punishment. So those things are also there. We should not be very eager to become Guru. We should know that being a Guru is a very, very responsible position. So there are punishments given by the scriptures. If someone becomes a Guru and cheats the disciple, then there are a lot of punishments. So in that way, one is very, very clear that one should not unnecessarily try to use this position. So one has to be very, very careful. Now, what about the disciple who has surrendered? So if the disciple has surrendered properly, understanding that the Guru is proper, but the Guru was improper, then Krishna will ensure that the disciple gets connected to the right person. So if a person is sincere, then Krishna will guide him to the sincere person, ultimately. So we do not, if a person is sincere and serious, he doesn't have to worry, because ultimately it is Krishna who has guided him to this Guru. And if this person is sincere, then he will guide him to another person. So we should always pray to Krishna, oh Krishna, please guide him to the right person. So this is third thing. The fourth thing is that it is very, very important that we pray for our Gurus for protection. Understand, material energy, the biggest, we say na, fugitive most wanted, criminal most wanted. All the pictures that material energy or Kaliraj has put in his room is all the pictures of all the big Gurus. So Kaliraj has in his room all different pictures, and he wants to put cross to all these pictures. इसको हटाया तो कितने सारे लोग चले जाएंगे भक्ति से. So that's why we need to pray for our Gurus, for their protection. We should know that someone who has become Guru and accepting disciples, he has become on the hit list of Kaliraj. Because Kaliraj knows one person का spiritual life problem create करने से बहुत difficult है, energy जा जाएगा. एक व्यक्ति को टपकाया तो कितने सारे टपक जाएंगे. And that's why it is important that we protect and pray for our Gurus. And so this is the fourth thing we should understand. So there are three things that we should pray to Narsingadev. The first thing we pray to Narsingadev is for protection of our spiritual master. Second thing we pray to Narsingadev is for our spiritual life protection. The third thing we pray to Narsingadev is protection of the devotees. So these are the three things we should pray to Lord Narsingadev. But the first thing we should pray to Narsingadev is protection of our spiritual master. Because if someone has become spiritual master, means he is in the hit list of the material energy, especially Kaliraj. Material energy is Durga Devi, she is a devotee. But Kaliraj, right? So we should be very, very prayerful and for the protection of our Gurus. Yes. But if one is sincere and serious, Krishna will always direct him to the right person. Okay?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Vancha Kalpataru Vaishya Kripa Sindhu Vacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Naman, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Vaishnav Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna. Hare